let's do that the other way. Let's grab you and put you on the other side. I'm not doing anything. I am hitting the wrong button. That's what I'm doing. Alright, let's try that again. You over there and you over there. Something has respawned. Alright, there we go. Well, I'm in the Valley of Lunanion. It's in Alaris. You get there through Argath. Where am I? Ah, yes, I know where I am. There should be two guys right over here coming up soon. Let's just go down here to this little platform. Those guys are dead. We can run over here and grab a guy. I guess we should become invisible. Haven't ran this zone for a little while, so if I'm dumb, we'll blame it on that. Not on inherent inabilities of my own. Oh, I got two. Luckily, I'm OP enough here. Isn't gonna matter. Yeah, but if anybody does like Everquest hanging around still, I could do something like start a new little character down on another server, like a little mage or something. Wanted to do something that's a halfling because they get an experience bonus, but I'm not very good at the characters that they're available on. Look at me. Your mama is a snowblower. One guy dead here. Hello, Chuck. Not running the game today. I'm playing a little Everquest. Unless there's massive demand for that game, you know. Been thinking some other ideas of things we can play. I happen to love word games. Thought I could do a kind of, not really a hidden object game, but something where, you know, you take a picture and then you have to come up with words that describe things in the picture. Kind of like a crossword puzzle sort of thing. Yes, you do. Select a target. It helps to... I don't know why my mouse is being silly today. My mouse, I say. Technically, it's my daughter's computer. It's her gaming computer. I stole it to do editing on and live streaming on because my little laptop could never put up with all this. I was testing a couple things if I could edit or change the speed of songs and have real music in the background instead of just relying on Empowerment Zone entertainment music. But it did not go well. I'll have to go down the list of YouTube's authorized music users. There are a whole bunch of regular music that is not on that front page. It's a tab just below the front page where you can choose the free YouTube music. And it tells you the copyright status of various things, such as Madonna's company just terminates your video right then. The other ones will just put ads on them and keep the revenue that comes from that. But some of them are listed in there and they don't care, even if you monetize it. And so I'll have to go down the list and find something tolerable out that. I don't want to just have, like, you know, Gangnam Style or whatever in there. As terrific as that song happens to be, not. I'm a classic rock girl with metal overtones. Yes, I have to go look at H-Top's music. I have seen him in several streams. I am a subscriber. I have to look in there. I don't mind a little easy listening. Trap. Whatever this happens to be. But I don't know. When you're doing battle, you don't need no soft sissy music. You need to rock on. You need your battle cry. Battle stations. Take no prisoners, open fire. Battle stations. Although I could use more people killing this. As a Shadow Knight, I don't have a whole lot of damage per second. Yes. Well, it's... Okay. True. Yes, that statement is completely true. It doesn't necessarily mean that's her choice that that happens. Anne McCaffrey wrote a really great series of books called Dragon Riders of Pern, and she herself really didn't care if people wrote fan fiction in her genre or in her world, I guess it is. But her publicist and publishing company certainly did, and so they were very, very strict on anything that seemed even halfway close. Dragon Riders of Berk, or How to Train Your Dragon, comes fairly close. But I think they managed to get through because they're on Earth and not on another planet, and also that they weren't telepathic with their dragons. On Pern, the dragons are telepathic and deeply emotionally attached to you. They keep saying they'll be making a... hit the wrong corpse there. They say they'll be making a movie or a series off of it, but it doesn't happen. She did die and gave the series to her son. They've been writing together in it for 10 years before she passed. And they may be able to do it now because with the CGI and things that they can do that look almost real, it won't just turn out to be a Flight of Dragons movie or something, which is an obscure animated reference. I got my screen set up a little better. I can pop in and adjust the speed on on the volume on my music now. I'm not stuck with one volume or trying to mess with my speaker. It has a futzy key in it and it doesn't let you... Oh, I really love the Dragon Riders of Pern books. The setup is that they had researched the planet with a flyby, and it looked like a terrific planet, so a whole group of colonists went out to live on the planet, and it turned out to be not such a perfect planet, which they needed the dragons and the dragons' fire to save them. And I have a thing with, I don't know. I'm not a prepper myself, but I do have a thing with apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic, however you want to say that, movies where colonists might have to live on their own in a new place. I don't know that I would fly to another planet to do it. I'm willing to homestead out in the woods, but fly to another planet, that's a little more. Plus I get terribly motion sick, so as though I would love to go to the moon or something, even just orbit the planet, I don't think I could do that. Not unless they come up with some way to end motion sickness. I can't even go on a carousel, a merry-go-round. 4 turns on a merry-go-round, and I'm leaping off and making those around me very sad they were anywhere near me. This is the most active game I play. Everquest, you use a lot of buttons, but it's not a button mashing thing. Exactly. Well, I have a lot of respect for anybody who would. Like the people that might go to Mars. They may or may not get back that first few people that go to live on Mars. Although I am fascinated by the concept. Kind of little drama going on here. This Everquest anniversary. It's 19 years old this year. I've been playing it for about 15 years, since about 2003. And it appears as though there's some sneaky way around the round to get an AUG, and then people are using, because if you're not a full raid geared person on the highest tiers, you can't get this AUG. And then there's something about they might get banned or have their character removed or something for having done it. That's kind of a little strict. I mean, 6 weeks off the game or something. They can't participate in all the special events or something. Because right now there's an experience bonus running, and there's all kinds of fun games. There might be somebody sitting in the main area called Plane of Knowledge. I don't know if you've ever played Everquest. Goes by POK. A lot of abbreviations in Everquest for all the zones and everything. And there might be people in there giving trivia quizzes or joke riddles. They have a riddle master who'll come in and ask riddles. Mostly there's just all kinds of fun things to kill and extra experience for doing it. So I really do like spending a little time live streaming. My view time jumped up incredibly. I have been trickling along at under 1,000 minutes. And since I did my 2 little game streams, I jumped up to, immensely by several hundred points, probably 300 points. Or minutes. Because I was sneaking around at just about 900, and I think I'm up to 1,100, so that's pretty good. Some of the people are actually sticking around and watching the whole hour of our Scarecrow game. Like I said, I was trying to figure out a way to speed it up a little bit so that we could get a few more words. We did get 4 games done in an hour, which had speeded up over my first day of learning. And as you saw, I really haven't learned to host my game very well, as I am constantly making silly little mistakes. But it'll become second nature after a while. I didn't didn't look at what time I started my stream. I wonder if the Everquest here will tell me how long I have been streaming. Ah, there it is, 15 minutes. I have a couple of other characters. Oh, exactly. Well, and I don't have a camera, so whatever I do has to be done on screen. I can draw. Might get my daughter's draw pad out and use that for Pictionary. But Ms. Kathy had just played Pictionary the night before, and I really didn't want to go, oh, wow, that was cool. I'm going to play Pictionary and kind of steal her thunder with her Pictionary game. It's not like it's not like she specifically has a patent on the game or anything. We're gonna become another person. Get stronger here, for I am now a zombie. Everyone knows zombies are tougher than anyone else. And yeah, so I tried to come up with some way, and like I said, being a farmy channel, and I didn't want to do Hangman, although in and of itself it is not a unfamily friendly game. That's where I came up with my little scarecrow and the concept of punching him around in Photoshop. Yes, my kids suggested trivia and they got me out a whole set. Yerg, 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 of cards from Trivial Pursuit. It could be a Trivial Pursuit knockoff, for it says it is the Genius Edition, however it is spelled G-E-N-U-S. So that would be the Genus Edition, like species and genus. They have a whole set of cards in there. I thought about doing farm trivia. I am using OBS. My son likes XSplit. OBS was really easy. I didn't set it up, however. My daughter already had it on her computer. She does gaming. She's currently changing the voices that are changeable in a Baldur's Gate game and putting in clips of other voices and playing a game on that. In this case, you can answer okay. All right, I'll figure out what it is. A thing in the G category, geography, which country's anthem begins from peaceful Piranga's banks. Yeah, OBS is really easy. Hey, you're my only view. How many people are viewing? Let's see. Where is my button? Hey, I can look at that now. Participants. Yeah, you're my only viewer. We'll do whatever we want. It's not like Everquest is such an incredible stream. Let me make my character help my pet do things here. I have a healer that'll take care of us, so all I have to do is stand there. Okay, one moment, and I will go in OBS and let you see it. Here. And we're going to capture the entire display. Ooh, forgive me for the perpetual picture. I can't help you with that too much. Okay, what you can do is you come in here, and there's some already set up here, but what these are different things. Here is for, she captures Diablo in one, and I had Farmington Tales I was capturing in another one. The scene is a new setup that I'm doing where it's over in one corner over here so that I can have stuff that nobody sees over in the corner. And then display capture is what is running now. It'll let you do things while you're here. It'll let you do here the game capture or display. That captures everything on the screen. The game specifically captures an instance and only the instance of the game. So you're not seeing Everquest here. Individual images, you can run a slideshow or add an image to it. Pick sources. scene is where you choose to just take a small part of the screen that isn't specifically related to any particular screen. I know all this because my son helped me last night. I couldn't figure that spot out. Only if it was going to display text that was printed on the screen. A regular video capture device, that's if you had a camera or something outside, I would think. And then specific windows. I'm not sure what that one's for. And here what you do is you hit the start streaming button, and then you watch your, I'm going to minimize that, and then you watch your, over here in your live streaming window, exactly. Let me make this a little larger. In your live streaming window, you click live streaming and you're in this area. And the first thing, I watched a setup on it. And so in here, there's a special thing that you can see. It's a bunch of letters and numbers you can see when you hit reveal. You reveal it and you copy it, and then I've got 4 things, one moment. And then you, where are they? Oh, my pet ran somewhere. Chasing that mob. I don't want to bring any more. Where are they? Oh dear. Oh dear. That's a lot of them. Ah, and they killed me. I was just going to fake dead and they have killed me. So you will get a beautiful view of the guild lobby. All right, we'll go back to where we were. So you reveal this, copy this thing, unreveal it, because if anybody has this, they can stream in your on your account, and you don't want them doing that. And then you take that number and you come in over here and and I'm sure there's someplace in here that you put it. We've gotten beyond what I had memorized of my little attempt to do this. There's great videos online where you can find out how to set up OBS. But like I said, then you come in and you push that button that starts streaming, and this will say from offline it'll go live and start counting down. It gives you the opportunity to fill in here and schedule, and it also of course lets you type into the chat, which I have set off to the side over here with my scene set to game capture 3 right there, which you are now only seeing Everquest. Anyway, when you're done, you hit that stop streaming button, and then OBS's job is done. It's also a regular screen capture on your own computer. There's a spot in there for you to set up. Oh, excuse me. I have my foot up on a pillow and the pillow fell. It lets you set up your DPI. It's streaming in this case in HD. So an HD drop takes a 30-second video. I did a test video. It takes a half an hour. That must be the base for it, because when it takes in an HD, it has to make a 720 copy and a 480 copy and a 360 copy and a, I don't know if there's a 240, but and a 144 copy. So in that half an hour, it's making duplicates. I know there's a technical term for that. Yes. Yes, it is good. And that will take in your separate webcam if you're not, like, say, on a laptop where the cam is directly attached. Other things, like in Google Hangouts, it's going to let you have a couple other people that can join you in the stream at the same time. And that is a great advantage. I'm going to keep up the drama and maybe not make a face reveal until I make my royal 1,000 viewers. If I can find enough things to do until then. you know, I was never going to be monetized, but the things that EverQuest, I'm sorry, it's because I'm staring at the things that YouTube is doing. Oh, I have my own, 1 second here. I have my own healer who I will probably have to bring to life, because that would be why I have to wait a minute. Okay. That would be why I died, is because it got killed chasing my pet around when it got into those mob of characters. All right. Is that YouTube has made me network more. I had 43 subscribers for my home video of the Canal Zone and growing up in the Canal Zone. And it's just friends from YouTube and things from who are from the Canal Zone. And then I started picking up a few around here, and when I actually started going in and talking to people and networking, that's when I realized that gardening is something that people do everywhere. So I can go into a stream for gamers and, you know, mention that if you like gardening or if you want to unwind after a hard day, you know, gardening is a great thing, and they can come in and talk to me or catch a video. All right, well, it'll be 1 more minute before my character's up. Before my healer is up, my mercenary. Let me figure out where my button is, and I will summon my corpse. And there is my body standing up in my skivvies. This is the generic Draken. It does not look like me, for I look like this. Kind of zombie-like in and of myself. I am half dragon, half human, or something like that. It was one of the newer characters they made, and the world has enough of the old characters. Okay, I'm gonna pop up my mercenary, and he will res me. And I will figure out what the heck I'm gonna do now. Because I'm not paying, my mercenary only reses me at 90%. I lose 5% experience each time, which doesn't matter because I am a 105 and haven't paid for the new expansion, so I'm capped at 105, even though the other people can go up to 100 and 110. So then we have geography, entertainment, H, history, American literature, I guess. I don't know how it could be American literature because they're asking a question about Dickens. I thought Dickens was from Europe. British lit. But its symbol is AL. All literature. We're gonna, who knows? I'm sure my kids know what it stands for. Polish astronomer. Science, nature, and sports. I don't know what the L. Their geography. Where do tangerines live? On tangerine trees. No, I'm going to guess Tangiers. Ha! I was correct. What was Elvis Presley's first film in 1956? No clue. Ah. Love me tender, love me true. History. What did a shepherd boy discover at Qumran, Jordan in 1947? I know the answer to that. That's the Dead Sea Scrolls. How many ghosts appear to Scrooge in Dickens' Carol, Christmas Carol? 3, right? The ghost of Christmas Present, Christmas Past, and Christmas Future? What Polish astronomer demonstrated in 1512 that the sun is the center of the solar system? Copernicus? Copernicus! Oh, there's 4. There's 4 ghosts. I wonder what the 4th one is. What sport? Oh, is the 4th ghost is his friend. Whatever his name is, the guy who used to work for him. And what sport do you herringbone to get uphill? Skiing? Yes. I mean, how many sports do you go uphill in? Most sports you go downhill in. Yeah, so I might do Trivial Pursuit sometime. Draw a number. Get a turn. Answer the question. You know, that's what I was trying to do, was find some way to make it so that everybody isn't all typing at once. Well, I have been dead. This is the guild hall. The guild lobby. It has portholes in the ceiling for the light to shine in. It has a vendor guy here who will send you things to bring your body in so you can get rezzed. I don't need that because my character lets that happen. Yeah, you bet. I'm not real expert on YouTube or editing or anything, but if you have any questions, you can let me know. If I can't figure it, if I don't know it, I can usually figure it out. Here's a banker. He will let you put things in your shared bank, and you can trade money around. Out this way is to where you can pay in-game money for a plot of land to put a house on. It doesn't really do much. You can stick stuff in it. It's an extra storage space, I suppose. But WoW had houses, so we had to put houses in our game too. Sometimes there's not necessarily just younger people playing. I mean, if you go back and play older games, people go and watch them because they may remember that from growing up, or they may want to see the game because they haven't seen it before. They've heard about it. I'm going to go into the standard guild hall because it's easier to walk around in. I'm in a guild that actually pays for a fancy guild hall with wall coverings and things, but it's a longer run. I already have to run a long way to get anywhere. Yeah, my kids are currently playing the Overwatch game, and there's a lot of people playing that, Overwatch and Fortnite and stuff. That's just a little too complex for me. I was a young adult, upper teenager, young adult, when they came out with computers and video games and things. And, you know, I never could play like Asteroids, where everything's all around you all at once. I'm good at multitasking. I don't have trouble doing a couple of things at once. But when it comes to the screen like that, it's a little harder. Now, don't get mad at me, but I was a telemarketer for about 2 years, and I could listen to music, sing along with the music, play a crossword puzzle, and then when the phone came on, recite my spiel and still keep doing the crossword puzzle at the same time. I mean, occasionally you'd get a person you could talk to. Little old ladies in Alaska like to talk on the phone with you. And they'd be like, well, I'll talk. And it's like, I'll talk too. If I can keep repeating something about your credit card or whatever credit referral plan or whatever we have to give you, as long as I have to give him back his item or he won't port me anywhere. I'll stay on the phone with you a long time, as long as you don't care. I had one lady I talked to on the phone for almost an hour every 3 or 4 minutes. Well, that's a great reason why you need to know about your credit history so that you have a stability in your life. And then off we go talking about, she asked me where I was from, and I told her I was in Montana, and she had family up in Kalispell, which is up by Flathead Lake, quite a ways from me. But we chatted for quite a while. Okay, I'm looking for something that looks like a little piece of gravel. There it is. We give it back to him, and he will make the transport portal go where we want to go to. Otherwise, it's a long run where you have to go through 4 zones and ride a dirigible. It is amazing how many people will sit around and watch people play a game on. How many people will sit and watch a game that they've played 1,000 times? They'll sit around and watch you play the game. Let's see. We will hit our floating, even though we cannot float in this zone. They wanted to make it just a challenge for you have to go down this huge spiral staircasey thing. The only good thing about being a telemarketer was that we never called within our own state, so provided anybody could recognize your name, not name, provided anyone could recognize your voice, you wouldn't run into them at the Walmart or whatever. See, this is a very, very tall thing, and when you're a little mite character, you can come in to kill in these areas at a level 80 or 90. So I'm kind of, like I said, way OP for the area. But you fall off there, you're toast. When you're a little guy, see you can see the spiral staircase that goes down. When you're a little guy, you can even be toast falling straight into there. Into the water. That's not gonna let me look. There we go. Into the water. So you have to go down like 2 levels and then you jump into the water, and that will take up your fall. But I'm a big girl. I got my big girl knickers on, and I can just fall. I did take 500 damage, and when you're little, 500 damage can yeah, exactly. Yes, I was very good at memorizing my spiel. If people say trigger words, I can end up reciting it now. I like to sing, so I've memorized tons of lyrics for songs, and so one word can trigger anything in me. But yeah, the company ended up closing because they were having trouble in their main office. Somebody was embezzling money. You know how it goes when you're in a business. Yeah, so I worked there for a couple of years. Mostly you just sat in a room with 50 other people. Yeah, my kids played Everquest endlessly. They were high-end raiders. They played it all the time. Any second they weren't doing their schoolwork or helping around the house, they were on Everquest. And then Daybreak got it. And they were mad because Daybreak owns Fiverr, and it's like Russian or something. Anyway, they were mad that the people that owned Fiverr now owned Everquest, and they did make lots of changes. And so the kids, they didn't last very long. A couple of months maybe after Daybreak took over, and that was it. They didn't play anymore. They've left. The sad thing is, I figured out how much we've paid in Everquest for 3 characters for 13 years. For 13 years of playing one character is $3,000 in monthly subscription fees to play, and in expansions. At first, Everquest would put out 2 expansions a year. I think I'm only figuring 1 expansion a year, but it's $3,000 per account, and I've ran 3 accounts. So I've paid $10,000 to play Everquest. There's no way I'm going to play any other game. I am going to play Everquest until they close the servers down and I cannot play again. Oh, it won't let me do that. I wanted to kill this thing off real quick. I don't have a pet. Oh, I will. I'll just do that. Oh, I don't have any... In order to do some of these things here, I have to have this yellow bar, and I don't have anything in the yellow bar. To run my spells, I have to have blue bar, and I'm kind of low on that too. I'll let this guy die. We won't be so silly next time. Run straight into a battle without making ourselves better. I'm going to go down where I know I can sit safe and something isn't going to sneak up on me and kill me. Yeah, exactly. 10 grand. I could have probably designed a game of my own and produced it. But you can't design and produce a game of your own for $15 a month. So, you know, it has been. And I mean, my kids never went out to the movies more than 4 times. We'd go to the drive-in. The drive-in is not too far from our house. And we would take them there. My kids have never gone to a movie theater. We don't rent videos. We do have cable. If I paid $15 a month for each kid, well, there's only the 3 of us that played. It was me and 2 of my older kids. I had 2 of my younger kids. The older kids weren't quite as interested in it. They've had characters on it. They've all played small amounts. My youngest wasn't with them when they were playing that. He grew up watching them play, and he does play a little. But as you said, it's not quite as interesting to younger people when they have all the glitz and glamour that's in Overwatch or, you know, whatever. Although my 14-year-old's favorite game is Five Nights at Freddy's, so it certainly can't be considered high quality. I came down here and attacked and didn't give myself any beneficial spells. Isn't that typical? You can see I die a lot. That's why it took me so long to get very far. My kids outdistanced me. We were all the same levels at first, but you know, for a while I was working, and so I would only catch up with them a little after I got home from work, but I didn't get home till like 9 o'clock at night, so the kids had already been playing, you know, 3-4 hours already. So they always left me in the dust. But now I have all their characters. I don't really know how to play them, but I do make use of them for things. They can do tracking and teleport me around to places, so I'll drag him out once in a while. I had a bit of melancholy at first, which I will say partly is me and partly because of those stupid opioid drugs they give you for painkillers. When I would first open it up, I couldn't look at their characters without getting teary. My throat chokes up just saying that. But now I can grab them out and take them around. At first, when I would grab them out, I would be in first person, so I couldn't see the character. I was just running around doing things. But I prefer to play in third person because I can see what's happening around me. Say something came out from inside this building or whatever, I'd be able to see that it had appeared. So I now can take their characters' places and kind of use them for things without crying, getting all choked up. Although I can get them choked up by, their trigger is old Everquest music. Everquest itself has music that plays inside, and each zone has an orchestrated song that plays in that zone, and they can tell you what zone it is. I never left the music on. I prefer my own music. So I was going to do things without buffing again. Not thinking. We're going to sit our little butt down. We're going to load up our beneficial spells. That's cool. Yeah, our drive-in is almost close enough. We're not close enough to get the radio frequency. We'd have to drive down to the exit near them. But if you use binoculars, you could see it. We used to tease the kids, say, want a movie, here's binoculars. They can watch a silent film. A minion. He isn't cute as some minions. Oh, I already have a minion. I could have sworn he got killed. Well, we'll make ourselves strong here. 45 minutes. I might play for a few more minutes here. And go do some things. I've been sitting for an hour. I gotta get up and walk around. Get my leg going. Yeah, I'll have to check out H-Top's music because I've listened to this playlist several times. I'd like to mix it up. Float. Be invisible. Stop becoming another person. Come to me, I wish to kill you. My daughter will, we have a couple of wizards, I believe, on Feronia Vi, I don't know how you pronounce that, V-I-E. I think that the technical is Feronia V. It's a different server. I'm on the Luckland-Strom server. You can have like 7 characters on each of the servers, but they have lots of servers because Everquest used to be hugely popular back in the day. We have a couple of wizards on there that we play occasionally if I can get her to play on it. My Everquest computer is down. That is why I am processing things on my laptop. Picked up a snotty little virus and had a trouble with my antivirus program. It took chunks of the Windows system out instead when it was cleaning for whatever reason. I mean, they could have been infected, but I have to have my hubby hook it up to another computer and slave it up and let me get my files and stuff out of it before we wipe it and clean and install Windows again. Oh, don't worry. I'm not assuming I have anyone's absolute attention. Exactly. Well, I like to have a little music behind me, like I said, for the fans on the computers and the ceiling fan and my dog scratching or whatever happens to be happening. But I don't know that I want to use the same music over and over and over again. The viewers might find that a little monotonous in the background of the video. Oh no, not that song again, or whatever, you know. So I try to find some different stuff. Actually found Empowerment Zone because Grillin' with AB found my Crazy for Food video and I subscribed to him, and then I saw the 3 creators in the kitchen and I liked that, and that's where I saw Skip and heard his music, because I'm not a hip-hop person. When somebody says hip-hop, I think, you know, hip-hop like on the radio, and that's not my genre. I would never have gone to see his music, but having heard it, I went by to check out his free music, and I thought it was very interesting. He's a true professional. be stereotypical to say I didn't expect piano. That's what's playing now. It's a very nice little piano ditty. And it's pretty sad that hip-hop can get such a bad rap because of the things that just some people do. All right, well, I'm going to sit down here for a little bit because I buffed myself and promptly went back to battle and haven't gotten any stamina or mana. Not a problem. One thing I can do is yammer. Said I'm going to run for another... I'm running 51 minutes on the stream. I'm going to call it around an hour. You never know, I might get that 3 little ticks of the blue bar and get up to 99.9999% again. I don't stay there very long because, like I said, as you can see, I die regularly. I get lost easily, which is just in Everquest. I'm not a person who gets lost in real life. I have a really good sense of direction. I was telling my kids that I can't believe the things our parents used to do. That is my phone. It is not anyone. I guarantee it. We used to go up to Flathead Lake to my aunt and uncle's house, and they would just let me go wherever I wanted. They were right on the edge of the lake, and although I love swimming, you couldn't swim in that lake. It's like 50 degrees. Your feet went in the lake, and that was it. You were cooled right off. The up behind the house on the other side of the road that ran along the lake is just straight up mountainside, and they'd be like, yeah, sure, go play. And I would climb up the side of that mountain and pretend I was a deer bedded down in the forest, or a wolf running around, or, you know, whatever rampant forest creature I happened to imagine that day. I was probably 12 years old, 10, 12 years old. No one had any idea where I went. I would play, cavorting around in the forest, turn around, march down the hill, and appear right across the road from their mailbox, and ta-da. But I start watching things like Missing 411 and all the people that are missing and just going walking with their parents in the forest in the national park. I didn't sit very long, did I? Just go go hiking with their parents in the national forest, and they walk around the tree or a rock, and everybody else appears there 30 seconds later, and they're gone, completely gone, never to be found. A mountain lion or aliens, no one really knows. They just vanish. I don't know if you've seen anything on that. Hide the corpses there. But it's just absolutely amazing. Sometimes they'll find a little kid like clear up a mountain, but you know, up on the side of a cliff, you know, that he couldn't possibly have gotten to, or they'll occasionally find the kids and they've got their clothes on inside out, or they don't have any shoes. It's a really bizarre set of circumstances. But I think of all the times I used to do that. And then when I grew up in the Panama Canal Zone, I could go off and ride on my horse through the jungle. It's rainforest, but we called it jungle. And be gone 2-3 hours in the afternoon. And, you know, other than saying I'm going out riding on my horse, I never told my parents where I was. If I went missing, they wouldn't have the slightest idea where to look for me at. You know, and I understand that the percentage of people that cause trouble for other people hasn't changed. The percentage of sexual abusers or serial killers or whatever hasn't changed. However, there are a lot more of them that you can meet in any day, where, you know, if there was 10% of 1,000 people around you, that's like 10 people, 100 people. That's like 100 people around you, but then you start putting 10,000 people in your area instead of 1,000 people, and that number has gone from 100 to 1,000 or something. I'm not super in the math category. I could pop up a calculator, but it's not that important to me. It's just what I tell my kids. There aren't any more percentage more crazy people than there were before, but you can run into a lot more of them than you could before. And I am going to call it here. 4 more minutes. Maybe I won't even make it 4 minutes, because I'd have to sit down and med to kill anything. Oh no, I won't. I can kill something. I have my super duper awesomeness. As a Shadow Knight, I can suck the life from things, but I can't do it very often. I can only do it to one thing, and not very often. So we'll go find a one thing, and we'll make him sorry. Make him sorry he was ever a farmer in this field. Or not. There's a thing. Okay, he's a high level. Took half his life in one zap. And the pet did the rest. Look at that. Alright, let's walk up the hill here. What do we got? There's another guy. I have almost as much with this one. He's green. He's a lesser character, so with the lesser zap, that'll get him too. Get him, pet. Get him. Get him. Thank you for stopping in. I was happy to chat with you today. Like I said, I didn't expect anyone. I didn't tell anyone I was streaming. Just felt like testing it out. Like I said, I was going to test and see if I could get some different music, but they figured me out and copy. They were going to be snotty about it and put ads on it and keep the revenue, and it was just a 30-second, maybe 2-minute check, like you saw me on the other one stepping in, and or I guess you didn't see me. That was one-man army who stopped in. I better become invisible. Put my little butt back where I came from. And say goodbye. Please like, share, and comment. And if you're not already, hit that big red button to follow us. Thanks. It was nice chatting with you. I might pop on again a little later. I don't know. I have a little bit of editing to do. So I'll probably have to take care of that first. You have a nice day. Working in a toy store. That must be nice. Except for all the little crazy kids come wandering through. You bet. I'm glad I knew enough to give you a little tour of OBS. Three seconds, 2 seconds, and 1. Good day.